Hello, and welcome to another talk with me, Lady C. So, if I looked a little surprised when the video went on, it's because Facebook gave me a message about reconnecting, and I found that very strange because I know I paid my bill on the Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi is working. Don't know what that was about, but Mercury is going into retrograde. And as Mercury goes into retrograde, a lot of technical issues happen, breakdowns in communication of all sorts, especially between computers and humans and computers. So it's a tricky time to really find your footing with things that you already know. You have a routine with relationships that you already know how they work. So things that you become dependent on and expect all of a sudden break down and do not become dependent or reliable, and they don't work the same way. And when a retrograde really is when a planet halts in its orbit. So we have several planets actually in retrograde, but we're just talking about Mercury right now. So with Mercury, be careful of signing contracts. It's a good time to research, to redo something, to repair something, close loose ends, bring closure to things as well. And the retrograde starts on the 28th of April, but usually happens like a week before the actually the planet just halts. And then there is like this shadow period that begins a week before the actual day that it halts. So you start feeling it really intensely. When planets retrograde, you feel the intensity in the beginning and towards the end, and also in the middle sometimes. But as I forecasted before in the year's forecasts, this retrograde is not going to be as intense as other ones. So moving forward, I did say the last talk that I gave that I would probably speak on intuition for the next one, which would be this one, but I did not. And I did not think that I was going to get a direct message from Spirit saying, don't talk about that. Spirit actually said, talk about the charm of doing a good deed. And then the floodgates opened. Because I was like, what? What do you mean by the charm of doing a good deed? And, well, I consulted with Spirit, and when we're doing, when we're giving, again, it's all about intention, checking your motives, and also we have to be aware, because this is where we get suckered into being a martyr, or we get carried away with an illusion of that we're doing a self-sacrifice, and that we're really helping the other person. There's a certain charm that happens, and it's really an illusion that we build up, and an illusion that we actually feed, that we think that we're seeing. So that's why it's really important, and I stress, very important, to always be grounded. Especially during a time like the King of Cups, which is ruled, is the ruling energy this month. That dreaminess, that desire, that wanting to receive and give also. So, so there's a certain charm when we get an idea. You ever had an idea, and the idea just like, it's like a light bulb just flashes in your head, and sometimes in your heart as well, and you just want to run with that idea, and the idea just, just captivates you, and you sometimes become obsessed with it. It overrides your sense of thinking, and sometimes your sense of feeling, especially in the heart. It's almost like glove. And sometimes it can become an infatuation. We're like, I have to do this, I have to keep doing this because the rewards, they're awesome. So we have that certain charm that we become, we become charmed, like a dragon to a shiny thing, or a fairy to trinkets. we become charmed, and we just want more. And sometimes that can be very addictive too, and then becomes very unhealthy, like I talked about before in previous talks. So there's a certain illusion and aspect in all of a sudden seeing an opportunity to help someone, to become, let's say, a hero or a heroiness, and save the day for someone, or to maybe uplift yourself, to uplift someone else. As long as you're doing it selflessly, like I talked about in the past, there is really no danger. But the danger lies when we become obsessed and charmed with not really seeing the reality of the situation, like I spoke of in the last talk, where we see a person maybe, or a place or thing that actually can use our help, and we're really good at this thing, but we're not seeing the danger that we're actually doing a job and a disservice to someone by actually not seeing that they can do it themselves, or that there's someone else out there in the works by actually observing the patterns in the person's life or thing or situation that is on their way to helping them. And sometimes all of us actually, we can be very aware of that and not choose to see it because we think we're perfect and we think we're right for it. And that's part of the captivation of the charm of doing a good deed for somebody or something or place. So we're actually also losing a sense of higher purpose in our own lives, and we're losing also a form of self-respect. So we essentially kind of, without knowing, we're bragging, really. We're bragging to ourselves, and we're bragging to the Creator, and we're bragging, we're strutting our bravado, so to speak, which really is not a grounded bravado. It's a deceitful one, which can bring us to a place where we can lose our path in our life. We can lose where we're going. We're karmic laws, you'll become involved into something that you're really not meant to become involved in, and then you build karma. And it's a snafu where, you can't fix, and something happens to you, something happens to the other person, nobody really gets fixed, nobody gets really helped, and there's a certain selfishness that sabotages the situation for you and the other person or place or thing. So bitter things can come out of it, poisonous things can come out of it, and you're swerved off the path and off of your center in that luscious river of love, the river of life. So we then do not become an agent of positive change for this person, place, or thing, situation, whatever it may be. We actually become a detriment. And, nobody wins, kind of. The lesson that gets learned from it, though, will be a very hard one in most cases. A good one, nonetheless. But, in everything in life, there's a positive and there's a negative, right? So, there are good things also that comes out of being charmed by doing a good deed. And those good things are, yet to be discovered if you go for the wrong thing. It's like practice, the more that you practice riding a bike, the better you become. The better you become at stopping yourself and analyzing the situation and see whether or not you really fit into the scheme of helping a person, place, or thing, like a doctor would, the doctor would receive the patient and, do an analysis, like diagnosis, see what really ails them. The patient might say, oh, I think I may have scarlet fever, but when really they have a stomachache, and the doctor might not be the right doctor for that person, and the person needs somebody who does gastronomy, I think, or I don't know if that's the right term, but another type of doctor, So, so the doctor in his own right, if he was an honest and sincere doctor, he would not really take the patient for a ride, and he would just say to the patient, well, let me stop you now. You don't need me. This is the type of doctor you need, and I have someone in my doctor support network, and I could just send you over to that doctor. I speak from experience. I speak from experience of having helped too much, having helped at the wrong time, and not seeing my place in the journey of some other person, place, or thing. And so the more that I practiced doing this, the much better I became. And the much better my life became, and so did the life of other people. And so, I became an interfaith minister, and I also continued learning and serving other people through tarot and astrology, and I continue to do so. And it's become my passion, and through other spiritual methods. So, anyone has a question on this topic? I think I've said enough. If you do, please make your questions known now in the chat room. Otherwise, I'll be signing off. As you can see, I am in the middle of pampering myself and getting my butt to bed soon. So, any questions? Anything you didn't understand? Anything that was not clear? You can ask questions about that as well. I'll wait for a couple of minutes before I actually sign off. I know sometimes it takes a while for people to form questions. Don't be shy. There's no such thing as a dumb or stupid question. We're all here to learn, even myself. As a teacher, I have to know how to learn. And, that brings me back to giving and receiving. In order to be a good giver, you need to be a good receiver. Oh boy, was that a big lesson in my life. Or you can ask a question about anything else. I'll try to answer it as best as possible. Or you could wait until the video is actually uploaded and downloaded and posted to Facebook, and then you could write one in the comment section below. Or you can send it to me privately. Okay. You guys have another minute and 10 seconds. Just to let you know, I will be doing some tarot readings like I have had in the past. It'll probably be spontaneous, but I'll try to give you guys a heads up and advertise it so that everybody could be in the group chat at the same time. And I'll do one card readings like I used to in the past. I'm sorry I haven't done it in a while. And don't forget also, you can book and schedule yourself for a reading going to beardedladyc.com, and I think on the post there'll be a link also to that call button that leads you to the scheduling page. And anyone who's actually had a reading with me before, either at the Renaissance Fair or online, or at Tuscan Cafe, or any time in my life, please could you send me a testimonial so I could put it on my site, and either make yourself be known by your real name or another name if you choose to, or if you want to be written down as anonymous. I really would appreciate your testimonial. Or even if, any of these videos or forecasts have ever helped you, I really would appreciate a testimonial from you. Okay, well, nobody has a question, so I am going. Good night. Blessings. I may come back tomorrow night again. I know I skipped yesterday. I couldn't do it yesterday. Oof. Boy, did I need to receive. And again, if you have any questions, down in the comment section, or feedback, or message me privately. Okay, y'all. Blessings to you all. Tainoti and namaste.